it's Kendall here, and it's time for everyone's favorite story time. I'm not uploading this on a Sunday because I had cramps. Sorry. But story time Sunday month is over anyway, so technically I can upload a story time whenever I want to. Now I'm uploading it today. So on live streams and on Instagram and stuff, some of you guys said that you were interested in seeing my artwork from when I used to do artwork more often. That reminded me of this story time. Basically, my art teacher stole from me. I know she took paintings from me, and I'm almost 98% sure she stole prizes from me. I will put it right here as a disclaimer. I don't know for a fact if she stole prizes from me, but I'm gonna give y'all all the reasons why I think she did, and at the end of the video, I want your opinion. Do you think she stole from me? Because I think she did, but you know, maybe I'm crazy, and I'll let y'all decide whether or not it sounds like she stole from me. So back in high school, I was a weirdo. I feel like we all were, but I was like one of the art weirdos, so I used to paint and stuff. I was an art and a choir weirdo. If I'm looking off kind of weird, it's because this contact in this eye is so dry. So it's starting to shift, but I don't want to go put in like drops in my eye because my beat is good today. So anyway, I was an art nerd, and because I was an art nerd, I spent a lot of time with my art teacher. I'm going to refer to her as Miss Egg Yolk. I have literally no reason. So Miss Egg Yolk was a teacher that kind of got a reputation for being kind of a butthole because she was kind of a butthole. She was just really mean for no reason to most of her students, but if you were winning competitions and stuff for her, because she also taught the photography class too, so if you were winning photog stuff or if you were winning painting and art stuff, she loved you. But if you weren't, you were kind of just like whatever, you were pushed to the wayside. And I was one of her star students. Miss Egg Yolk, if I had to describe her in like a very succinct, short way, she was a rat from New York that became an art teacher, who was really mad about the fact that she went into being an art teacher. She like told students they would be nothing in life, like you shouldn't go to the University of Michigan, it's too hard for you. These are other students, but not me because I'm brilliant. Like basically she was one of those people that would just like knock you down because she never became what she wanted to become in life, and that became very, very apparent every day of her life. She would like tell students like, are you sure you want to go into that? Like, are you sure you want to go into medicine? You don't seem like the type of student. And she would be hitting off that they stupid. A friend of mine, she was trying to force to go to fashion school when she said she wanted to be an engineer. Basically, she was miserable and wanted to live her life through a lot of people and also make them feel crappy if they decided that they did not want to be her 20 years ago, essentially. If she were like a millennial, she would have been one of those girls that did like super artsy posts but was low-key kind of a rat on Instagram. That's basically how I would describe her. Low-key, very unprofessional, and I didn't realize it at the time, but she stayed watching Love and Hip Hop in class, and this is when it was early Love and Hip Hop, so it technically wasn't as ratchet as it is now, but it was still ratchet. Granted, it was on her lunch break, but on her lunch break, she allowed students to come in to finish paintings, so technically she was always like in front of the students. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I just thought she was a little ratchet. And also that was around the time that Stupid Hoe from Nicki Minaj came out, and she was like, this ain't nothing. Back in my day we were saying beat that bitch with a bat. That was just the type of person she was. She was real ratchet, but she was the art teacher. That was sidetracked. That has nothing to do with this actual story. When I was in junior year of high school, I think, maybe it was junior and sophomore year, where I was sending my paintings out to local competitions, district competitions, you know, all that type of stuff. And I ended up winning like a fair amount of awards for these paintings. Looking back on the paintings, they weren't that good, but I think they were good for my age, I guess. And so it was all right for my age, but looking back on the paintings, they're not that good. But the last competition I ever entered kind of made me not want to do it again. She sent in my work and I won Best in Show. I won Best in Show. She gave me a piece of paper randomly in class, and I didn't read it because this is high school, so people stay giving you random pieces of paper that you never read. So I didn't end up going to accept the award. I didn't pick up any prizes. I didn't know I had won anything. So that was basically what happened. I dropped the ball on that one. And because I wasn't there to pick up my work, she picked up my paintings and picked up my prizes from winning that Best in Show. She comes to school that Monday or something like that, and she's like, hey Kendall, you won Best in Show. Why didn't you come to get your stuff? And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that I had anything to go to. Like, I had no idea. She was like, it's okay, I picked up your prizes on your behalf and you can get them a bit later. So I try to find her at the end of school. She's nowhere to be found. She had left already. So the next day comes and she has a boot on her foot. She had hurt her foot, but she wasn't on crutches or anything. And she was walking, you know, fine enough, but she did have a boot on her foot. And she was like, Kendall, the prizes are still in my car, and you won some really cool prizes. I remember that distinctly. That'll be very important, because she's like, your prizes are so cool. Like, you won a bunch of good stuff. That's what she called it, and she was very excited about it. She was like, you won a bunch of good stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. When do I get it? When can I get my cool stuff, right? So I asked her, like, hey, can I come to your car to like pick it up? I can see that you're not like walking the best, but you did make it to the third floor of this building, or the second or third floor of this building. How many floors did my school have? 3, I think. It had 3 floors. I was like, you did make it up to the third floor of this building, so obviously you walking all right, but apparently you can't carry my stuff, so let me come to your car to pick it up. She's like, no, I'll just give it to you tomorrow. Basically, we do this back and forth. She's like, oh my God, my foot hurts so bad, I can't carry your stuff. I was like, well, can I come get it? No, I'll give it you tomorrow. That's what we did for like a solid week, and I was starting to get irritated because I'm like, what's the holdup? What's the problem, right? Eventually, she's like, oh, I have your prizes, and it's a gym bag that has no demarcation on it that says that it's from winning an art competition. It basically just said Detroit Public Schools on it, which literally could have been from anywhere. A $1 sketchbook and a paperweight. And I'm like, these are the super great prizes I won. And I just remember thinking how weird it was, but I was like, oh my God, yay. Wow. I don't know how I would have lived without these things. And I remember this being towards the end of the year, so like I didn't really have much I could say about it. But the more I thought about it, the more that was real messed up, because the new year starts, right? And Detroit Public Schools ain't got no money, so they're not investing on getting new materials for anything. But all of a sudden, she had all these new products for her students. And I wasn't taking her class anymore, but I just heard about it. She has like extra stuff for people to use in class, which is like nothing that she had ever done before. At no point during my time in her class, everyone always had to buy their own things because Detroit Public Schools ain't got no money. So they suddenly had all this disposable income for items, and that just seems strange to me because they also still didn't have enough money for books. Detroit Public School System is booty butt garbage. I know, because I've always been in the Detroit Public School System. If you're not from Detroit, don't comment on it. None of your business. I know it's ghetto, but I'm still very protective of Detroit Public Schools because that's my bread and butter. Just so you know what, if you're not from Detroit, shut up. For those of you that are from Detroit or from a similar like school system, they ain't had no money. We didn't have money for econ books. So you're telling me y'all suddenly have all this disposable income for new items to be in the art room? They barely kept the art room alive. We almost didn't have electives. So I'm just like, where did all these items come from? And I was no longer in the class anymore, but I would pop in at lunch to do little paintings here and there just to pass the time, basically. And that's when I realized they just had a bunch of new stuff. But I decided to not really say anything on it because I never had proof. But I did end up having a falling out with her because she said I tried to get her fired. Should I put that in this story too? But anyway, after I graduated, I was looking through all the paintings that I had, and I actually have them right next to me. Maybe I'll show them to you later if you're interested. I had all my paintings next to me, and I was like, I'm missing a lot of them. Like, a whole lot of them. And I'm sure this woman has them. No one else would have them because the address on it would have been hers, and it would not surprise me if she still has my paintings. My number has never changed, so if they wanted to send me back the paintings that I spent so much of my time on, that would be great. Miss Egg Yolk, you know who you are. That would be amazing. But I know you also took prizes from me and tried to give me some garbage that you probably had left over from some like luncheon that the DPS people tend to give to teachers. So that's cute, that's whatever. That's why you still not on Love and Hip Hop. That's why you still a teacher. By the way, no shade to all my teachers. If you like teaching, that's beautiful. But I can tell that's one of the things that she was mad about in her life. So I just had to nick at that. Anyway, this was a stupid story time. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna show you guys some paintings though. Like, low-key these paintings ugly, but I thought they were cute at the time. It's a bald lady with a messed up nose and no eyebrows, but she killing it. This bad boy is in watercolor and acrylic. This is another why am I talking like this? This is Miss Emma's panda. There's a panda that was supposed to be made in Louisiana for some reason. Ain't she dashing? Ain't she cute? I'm gonna keep this. Her arm's mad short though, and she's so round. Miss Emma's panda. Low-key, my teacher's name is at the bottom, so let me stop. Oh, I was in 11th grade. So this is from 11th grade. This is La Maja. This painting low-key trash, actually. I mean, like I said, I feel like for my age, it wasn't bad, but this is low-key trash. My proportions all off. She got a big head for a little body. Anyway. But there's people with big heads and little bodies, so that's fair. Do I have a name for it? It's called Peace. And it's just an Asian girl in her room with in black posters, boa posters. This one was one of my personal favorites when I was younger, and now I don't know why, because it's low-key ugly. Takes more stitches to frown. Late 11th grade. It's my social commentary on plastic surgery, but I actually don't know what my feelings on plastic surgery were at that time, so this is untitled. I just broke up some like CDs because this woman is looking at her reflection and shit. By the way, my whole like concentration when I was in high school was the perceptions of beauty. So like she's angry about how she's not beautiful enough, so she broke the mirror. This is ugly, but it's kind of cute ugly. Wait, what is this called? Mermaids and bubble gum. This ugly as hell because like her proportions are way off, but like it's kind of funky though. I kind of love it. Worth dying for. My social commentary on anorexia nervosa and everyone's perceptions on what beauty is. As you can tell, I was a very tortured high schooler. That was the peak of my social nihilism. This is supposed to be Kahi, but if you notice, it looks right if I do that, but if I keep it straight up, her head is mad long because I was not looking at her reference picture correctly. So if I turn it this way, it's okay. But if I keep it up, she got a long ass head. This does not have a title, but just another example of how I'm incredibly socially disillusioned, and it started very, very young. It's the many faces of a person, but we're all dead on the inside. As you can see, I've always been quite disillusioned with humanity, probably more so when I was younger. I've become a little bit more mellow. This would be a dope ass shirt though. Again, my contrast is better, but a little off. My teeth could be a little bit more there, but this ain't bad. This looks like a really dope, if this was 2007, this could definitely be an Ed Hardy shirt. Like, I ain't mad at it. Did I give it a name? Apparently not, but she's everything. Look at her, she got a gradient lip before it was even cool, before everybody was trying to do it. I was giving black girls gradient lips from the jump. Her little earpiece, low-key slaying all of them, slaying everybody. That's my paintings, and that's my story of my art teacher stealing my shit. If you liked this video or at all found it entertaining, then don't forget to like this video, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, subscribe for more this type stuff, I guess. I don't know. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.